My dad now had a couple strokes, and at 55, he died. And I was 20, and I was living on 3 medications prior to the car accident. And now, because of the car accident that I was in, now I was told to manage that with Vicodin and Flexerol and support groups and stop living my life. And I'm here to tell you that after all those years, I had finally figured out that there is a common denominator, that there is how to create self-care over healthcare. Hello, vibrant community. It is Kelly Kennedy, and it has been a little bit. So I've done a couple shorts. I've tried to update you, but I decided to do a solo cast today to just update you on all the things and why I've been a little absent in the podcast world. So first of all, you know that it truly from my heart to yours, I want everyone to know what I have learned in the last 26 years and how the body really works to truly achieve the level of optimized human being that I am so fortunate to say that I'm living today in 2023. I'm truly living my dreams. I created this. I truly believe in every way, shape, and form. I think, feel, and know that my 26 years of journeying through my own wellness through a car accident and wanting to really prevent chronic illness in my life due to my family history, that I really have stumbled on something, as they say. And it has been my great gift and my mission to educate you all, to give you the freedom that I feel, to give and empower you with the tools, the practitioners, the mindset, the framework to truly understand how the body works. So one of the changes and why I've been a little absent is I've been rebranding and reframing and realizing that after all these years in practice, we have customized each and every person that has walked in our door that Ayn and I here at True Wellness in Pennsylvania have seen. And most people come to us because they've been to all the other practitioners first. They've tried the protocols, they've done maybe even they've handled their teeth. You know, they've remediated their teeth bioregulatory in a biological fashion, or perhaps they've done all the hydrocodone therapy and the IVs and the injections and the neural therapies. And they've been on this journey for months and years, some of them, and have spent tens and thousands of hundreds of thousands of dollars. And yet they still feel stuck. There's still something, that symptom that just they really wanted to go away that just isn't, or they still feel in fear that their genetics or something is going to catch up to them. And I'm here to tell you that after all those years, I had finally figured out that there is a common denominator, that there is some foundational practices that when we employ these practices, whether we are restoring our health or maintaining our health, or like me, we want to optimize our health and wellness, then we have access to this. And I will say that through my own journey, I have felt super responsible in my past to all of you. I feel at times I've wanted to help people more than they have wanted to help themselves. And I had also seen that as part of my journey is how can I help people see their potential? How can I help them see their beauty, their unique gift that is so obvious to me as I look and feel at each and every person I come across, that everyone has this unique gift, that we are here. The chances of us being even born are 1 in 100 million at minimum. And we've made it. Now what are we going to do? And I'm super fascinated and always have been in sociology and in science and in human nature and in evolution and in creationism and in spirituality and in the arts and in science. And I have really wielded and welded and weaved all of these worlds together. And through learning and experiencing life, I have really found these foundational principles, and we turn them now FLOWE. And FLOWE formula and the FLOWE, this is what we're now calling the podcast is FLOWE, which is really about opening our hearts and optimizing our wellness. And that's, I'm pivoting the show a bit to really exemplify and really drive home these foundational principles of FLOWE. So let's talk about what FLOWE stands for. And to that end, you're going to see books, you're going to see little programs and all sorts of shows, and in addition to our emails, that will really help you not only gain the tools, but as well the understanding of how we increase our flow and how to achieve flow state, which is fascia, flow, lymph, oxygen, water, and energy. So fascia. Well, I was so gifted in this world that I have a 12-inch scar on my head, and I had to learn about fascia and scars and all of that and how that impacts how scars are an interference field. And I'm going to do a quick YouTube short on that in these next few weeks as well, to really help people understand scars and their impact and influence in the body. But through my own journey, I have learned so much about the fascia and continue to unwind. Ha ha ha. If you know about fascia, that was quite funny, to continue to unwind my knowledge. And as I continue to help bodies unwind and go back to 0 point, where we are ideal, and we really are coming from our coherent heart, and we are in brain heart coherence, knowing that the heart actually sends more signals, 40,000 more signals to the brain than vice versa. And that is the receiver of information, and that the fascia is the frequency fabric that surrounds us, that is just under our skin and connects every tissue, every organ, is around every joint, is around, and really creates the structure of our body, and that the structure creates the function. And if we have a range of motion or a lack of function in a joint, be it, I'm showing you now my shoulders or my wrists or my neck or my hips or my knees or my ankles or my toes or anything that should bend and it doesn't, there's a lack of range of motion, then there's a fascia adhesion. And oftentimes I find when people are like, oh, I need surgery, oftentimes it's fascia, or I'm trying to increase my weight strength. Well, it's actually fascia. Or I am trying to improve my flexibility. Yes, it's stretching and it's yoga, but it's also about the fascia. And this is this tactile, sensory collagen fiber that can shift and shape shift, and is the shock absorber that truly conducts the electricity in the body. And my dear friend, Dr. Christine Schaffner, has done a few summits on the body electric. And I've been able to co-host the Fascia Summit with Siobhan Sarna, which comes out again. We are relaunching it this October, so stay tuned for that. And we have a few more guests on it this year, because the thing about fascia is, as you start unwinding it, you learn more and more and how it's all connected. And we have a lot to say about the belly button there. I did a little Instagram short about that this week. So the week that I'm recording this solo cast. So do look for that. And just know we've just uncovering a lot about the fascia. Then we have the lymph. Perhaps you know me as the lymph queen. As many of you know, with the lymph, and why I became the lymph queen is truly because as I started to work in the terrain, in the terrain medicine, in the spaces between the cells, I realized that space between the cells was primarily the lymph. If we have 3 times more fluid of lymphatics in the body than we do blood, then I want to work in the majority of the body, not the minority. So because you have a bigger influence on an influence of size of space with the lymph and the fascia, which is the majority of the terrain of the body. So as we start to open up the fascia, which is the frequency fabric, being better receivers of all of the vibrations of life, because all of life is a vibration, then we need to magnify or amplify that frequency through our lymphatics, which is the water of the body that holds that frequency, which is information, that vibration. And it is also our filter. It allows us to take in what we need and let go of what we don't. And as long as everything works really well, we don't get any fluid retention or buildup, either in our neck, under our arms, behind our knees, and our inguinal areas. These are areas that I have seen clinically that are notorious for building this little lymphatic fluid and creating an imbalance, or indicating the imbalance in the body. And so we really focus on the lymph. So when we get the fabric and the lymph to work in unison and in coherence, we often find that now the oxygen, which is the 3rd letter in FLOWE, 3 out of 5, because I've changed the spelling of FLOWE, that the oxygen can get everywhere. And we know that we can't live for 3 minutes without oxygen. We can't live for 1 minute without lymph. And there is no life without fascia. So they go in the order as well. So we start as fascia to really contain the vessel of all of the nervous system, the autonomic, the central, the peripheral, the organs, all the joints, all the systems of the body are contained within the fascia. Then we have the lymph, and now that's about 80 to 90%, I would say, of the surface area of the body. Now we look at the oxygen. We can't live for 3 minutes without it. Most of us are unconscious about the oxygen in our body and unconscious about breath and breathing. I am here to invite you to be a conscious being with the rest of the Vibe community and start to learn how to really engage that breath and to watch that breath and be in coherence with our breath, because that will only improve our regulation. And as we improve our regulation, we improve our flow. And so now the fascia, the lymph, the oxygen's getting everywhere. And now it can structure that information into the water of the body and really hold in that easy aspect of the fourth phase of the water of the fascia to really hold space. And that space is so needed in our lives and in our bodies so that the energy can flow by simply breathing in and breathing out and being present in this right here, right now, and allowing our bodies to do what it is designed to do, which is to compensate and adapt for all the internal and external stressors, whether those are bacteria, viruses, funguses, and molds, and the things that the body, the immune challenges and the pathogens that we are actually designed to deal with. Or are we compensating for more the man and woman made toxicants from an unconscious being, I'll say, that created metals and chemicals and Wi-Fi radiation and in contaminating our food and our water, which is contributing to our overall burden. And then the interference fields being in the dental arena, be those silver amalgam fillings, be those root canals or cavitations or cavities or dissimilar metals or wire bars or improper alignment of the TMJ, not creating a good sympathetic nervous system connection, because the teeth are the ends of our nervous system. And so really looking at, are the interference fields, the scars in the dental foci, are they handled? And now how can I increase the flow? How can I help the fascia, the lymph, the oxygen, the water, so that the energy can flow? And so I too can attain the level of joy and happiness and energy that Kelly Kennedy has after 26 years of this science experiment that I've really been playing with. You know, I felt stuck when I was 23 years old, when I started this journey. I had been on a I'd been on a sickness journey for 3 years at that point. But really at 23, probably for 23 years, no fault of my parents or the family I come from. They loved us. They did everything they knew to do. And every time my father got diagnosed with another cancer after diagnosed with Hodgkin's, he ran to the hospital. He got the chemo. He got the radiation. When I was diagnosed with asthma, we got the inhalers. When the acne started, they gave me birth control pills. That also controlled my menses, which was out of control. So here I was at 20. My dad now had a couple strokes, and at 55, he died. And I was 20, and I was living on 3 medications prior to the car accident. And now, because of the car accident that I was in right prior to my dad, I was scalped. I have a 12-inch scar on my head. I lacerated the spleen in the accident, and I lost a couple inches of height from compressing some vertebrae. And now I was told to manage that with Vicodin and Flexerol and support groups and stop living my life. And at almost 50, I am proud to tell you, I have more flexibility in every way. I call myself a flexitarian. I have great gut assimilation and bowels. I have great lymphatic flow. I have great menstrual flow. I have great energy. I have a great libido. I can eat pretty much whatever I want. I don't really exercise. I move every day. I'm very conscious and very present and very aware. I have great love in my life. I have my intimate partner of 26 years. My husband of 10 is my intimate partner. We share a family and have built a life together and a son and a community that you are all a part of. And I am so grateful to each and every one of you for being our students, our support system, and for engaging in your own wellness. And flow is my my gift to all of you, creating the FLOWE formula, which you're going to see a lot more of as I really educate not only end user and clients of how to create self-care over healthcare, but also to teach practitioners how to get efficient and effective, immersive experiences. I love working with people over the internet. But today, in 2023, we all know that in order to heal, we need connection, we need each other, and that the issues, as I always say, the issues are in the tissues. And so come to a center like ours, get a FLOWE Prezzo, get a vibe bed, get your sound of soul done, wake up that innate intelligence within your body, that parasympathetic, beautiful system that's here to heal you and help you. Let us facilitate in whatever way we can. And the FLOWE, the podcast, will be here to continue to inform you and educate you with all my colleagues about the most eloquent, efficient ways to do that. Perhaps some stories along the way from some of you that have experienced that. And I just truly want to give you all a true moment of my great, deepest gratitude. I love humanity. I love what I get to do. And I love that you are supporting yourself and this podcast by sharing it with others and waking up humanity, that you've got this, that there is lots of ways to heal the body, that you just need to engage it and you've got to be in communion with it. And we are here at True Wellness, here on the FLOWE, are to teach you how to do that, to empower you and to inspire you to take care of yourself. That it's more than brushing our teeth and taking a shower, that we can mobilize our lymph, we can work with our fascia, we can increase our energy, we can remagnetize our magnetic field, because we are feeling beings that get to think. We are not thinking beings that feel. Truly, I feel each and every one of you, truly from my heart to yours. I'll see you on the next FLOWE, where we open our hearts and we experience and optimize our wellness. I'm Kelly Kennedy, and I'm so honored to be on this journey with your sound of your soul.